Hey, everybody, welcome back to Freeze Frame, the podcast where we give you all the latest news and updates on movies and TV and pop culture and all the stuff happening in entertainment. I'm one of your hosts, Ryder, joined by my co-host and awesome friend, Luigi. Buddy, how you doing? How you doing this week?
This week, I said last week I was not having fun because I wasn't finding any news, and obviously that was a joke. Yeah. This week, oh my gosh, let me tell you, it's like the Lord heard me and was like, hold my phone, because there are so many. Like, I think
we got a lot,
so much, and I'm just so excited because it honestly is like really, really cool stuff that's coming. Most of it is really exciting. I have a lot of little synopsis here for movies that are coming out within the next 2 months. And then I have some stuff that could be 2 or 3 years away that recently got announced. And then I have some projects in the works that already started production this week. So lots of really cool, exciting news. Awesome. But before I get into all that, let me ask you, what have you been watching on TV?
Oh, let's see. Actually, yesterday I just saw this film called Arthur, Legend of the Sword on HBO Max. It's a film by, I believe, Guy Ritchie is a director. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, over there listening. But it's a fantastic film about Arthur and the Excalibur. Great film. And then, of course, the usuals, Fargo and Falcon and Winter Soldier. But what about you?
I would say this week I really didn't watch a lot of TV. It was mainly Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then I watched the Challenge All-Stars, because remember how I was talking about the Challenge? So as soon as I finished that show, they actually started the brand new season that is like the most current one. And they brought back all of these people who hadn't done the Challenge in like 20 years. So it's like the people from like 2008 or 2010 and below. So it's like all these like 40-year-olds doing these heavy challenges where you got to like dive deep underwater and come back with a giant heavy cube. It's a lot more interesting, but it's very different than the other one. Like, the other one was just drama nonstop.
Oh, okay.
Like War of the Worlds was, and this is just like peaceful. Like, they have these scenes where they'll go and party, and on the other one, it's like they'll get in each other's face. In this one, everybody's just having a good time, and then they just all go to sleep. Like, I was just like, this is so funny to me. But it's because none of them have been there, you know? And then obviously I've been watching Invincible, bro. If you're not watching Invincible, if you're listening, like, definitely check that show out if you have Amazon Prime.
Absolutely.
You know, put that Amazon Prime to use, honestly, because I feel like it's... I mean, I overwork my Amazon Prime with my 2-day deliveries because I'm constantly ordering stuff, but...
But
I never use their services. Like music, I'm never on Amazon Music. I'm sorry. I have Spotify. I make it work. And for all our Spotify listeners out there, if you guys are listening on there, or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Pandora, even you can listen on Pandora.
Nice. We're on
radio.com. We're on all of the different platforms.
Nice.
Just search up Freeze Frame, Strictly Casual, or Freeze Frame Podcast on Google, and we pop up, which is great. But without further ado, let's get right into it, people. We got a lot of news, and we got to get through it quickly.
Yeah, you start us off.
I got a COVID test I got to get to after this for work. So let me start you off with some big news. Keanu Reaves. Keanu, legendary. He has been reportedly cast in a Star Wars project. What?
Wow.
Keanu's in Star Wars.
What?
Apparently, people have been wanting to have the actor be in Star Wars for a long time, and now he's getting a role as a Star Wars Sith character named King Valor in a live-action style animated series on Disney Plus that wasn't announced before, which is interesting because there's a lot of stuff that Disney's announcing even after their investor meeting where they announced like 70 shows. They're still announcing things because I think that there was just a lot of ideas that were in development but weren't ready to be like put in a meeting. Exactly. And it says the Old Republic era is a largely unexplored age within the Star Wars story. It takes place approximately 3,000 years before Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 1999, and would give Lucasfilm creatives an entirely new cast of characters and species to explore in the galaxy. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I love.
Wow, yeah.
Go in that direction, because I'm tired of the Skywalker saga. Per the report, the 56-year-old actor will be voicing the character before the next steps in the series. The content creator said Disney are using the animated TV series to introduce King Valor to the fandom, and Keanu Reaves is said to be doing the voiceover work for that character in the beginning stages. The TV show will adopt a new style of animation, unlike anything fans have seen in the series yet. I think that's the most exciting. That's the most exciting part for me. I think the last animation that really changed the game for me was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
And
I don't think I've seen something quite like that just yet, because we got Soul, and Soul was just like another Pixar movie. Like it just looked like Pixar.
Yeah.
But Miles Morales just really took that animation property and was like, let me
Flip the
it was
script.
one of those hold my phone moments, really. So yeah, that's the big news to start us off. I got another one. Let me just go, because I got a couple here. Netflix and Sony have signed a licensing deal, which means all major Sony movies from 2022 will release exclusively on Netflix after the theatrical run finishes, which means all the Spider-Man movies are coming to Netflix and not Disney Plus, which is mind-boggling. Like, whoa, Disney couldn't step in and just, swoop in and make another deal. Hey, we got a couple billions of dollars we can give you. Just, like, give us the Spider-Man movies, because we want, Netflix is going to go up. Like, boop, boop, boop. Their stock's going up because everybody loves those Spider-Man movies. And if you're getting all of them, like, that's a lot. So that's Venom 2. That's going to be the next one. And
Morbius, Uncharted.
Dude, right. And I got some crazy news here I want to bring up in a little bit that you're going to be like, it's about Spider-Man. Okay. And I want you to hold here. If you're listening on the platforms, if you're listening on YouTube,
Typing it up,
give me like 5 minutes, because I got some other stuff I want to go through, but that Spider-Man news is going to blow you away when we get to it. So, Ryder, how about you start us off now?
Nice. Well, I already know that we have a lot of headlines that are kind of the same thing. So when we bounce back, and of course, if I don't catch some stuff, you fill in too. But I'll go ahead and say we have some film release dates, because there have been some new delays when it comes to Tom Cruise and his films. Mission Impossible, the 7 and 8 have been delayed to May 27, 2022, and July 7, 2023. So we're not going to see those for a long time. And then, of course, Top Gun has been delayed to November of this year. And then we get films like Snake Eyes, just recently announced. They showed kind of a little,
right?
Yeah, the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. Yeah. They had a little teaser video of just the title. That's coming out July 23rd this year already.
I never even heard of it. Heard of it.
I heard that they announced it, and the actor too, who's gonna play it, but I don't know why it's so fast.
Didn't they cancel that franchise with Channing Tatum? Wasn't he in that? And then they were like, nah, this movie didn't do that good. Like, let's not make any more.
They made a second one though, because there's two, and then they canceled it because The Rock was in the second one, and then
they made two, and I didn't even. So this is the third one.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I wasn't even aware of that. So that's crazy.
But it's like I guess a soft reboot kind of with the origin of Snake Eyes. But yeah, that's cool. And then we have of course Dungeons and Dragons, March 3rd, 2023. We get a new Star Trek film. We've been talking about that one, June 9th, 2023. So a lot of 2023. And then we have Imaginary Friends, which I think this is the film with Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski. I think that one's that one, right?
Is that what it's called? It's called Imaginary Friends?
I think you have this one as well, yeah.
I had it a little bit lower here. On November 17th, 2023, it says Krasinski will also direct. It's an untitled film, but it could, if you're saying it's called Imaginary Friends, it might, because when I was reading yesterday, they hadn't released the title.
Oh, okay.
It says it is expected to follow a man who can see and talk to people's imaginary friends, and he must stop the ones that get forgotten and turn evil. I think that's a great premise, like interesting. To just start off with. I got a couple other ones here that are kind of like that, where it's just kind of a little description of what it is. But before I get into that, I want to talk to you about streaming one more time. We talked about Netflix and their deal. Now I want to talk to you about HBO Max. You guys remember HBO Max coming out and saying, hey, we got a great slate for 2021. We got some great movies coming your way. And now Jason Kilar, the CEO of Warner Media, is coming out and going, so 2022 is not going to be like that. I think.
Oh, dang it.
So we're not going to have the movie air on HBO Max the same day as the theaters. Instead, we're going to do that. Well, they didn't even say 45-day window. They literally just said it'll show up on HBO Max eventually. So it's just kind of like, it's a hard pivot, which I kind of don't like, because I was like, well, I kind of like HBO Max because of the fact that I could watch these movies day of.
It's changing the game plan.
So you're changing the game plan back, but I think it's because of all the backlash he had gotten from the theaters. So that was just a little bit of streaming. Let's get back into the shows. Powerpuff has started production this week. We even had a leak image that came out of the girls wearing their costumes, which has now been scrubbed from the internet unless you took a screenshot, which I did. Which was so funny to me. Like, I went back to go look at the picture because I had sent myself the link from Twitter, and it was like all of it was gone. And I tried looking it up. No, it looks like they didn't want anybody to see this stuff, which I don't blame them. The cast includes Chloe Bennett as Blossom, Dove Cameron as Bubbles, Jaina Peralt as Buttercup, Donald Faison as Professor Utonium. We talked about that last week. Nicholas Padani as Mojo Jojo. Tom Kenny will reprise his role as the narrator. So the city of Townsville, with Robin Lively set to star as Sarah Bellum, the mayor's assistant slash wife. I don't
Yeah.
know. In the CW live action Powerpuff Girls series. Super cool. Very excited for that. Moving on here quickly enough. We're not going to spend a lot of time, delving into these stories too much because we already know they're very surface level. They're not necessarily super intense unless we get something that's really like, oh wait, let me jump in on that. Like we all know about Powerpuff. It's coming. It's probably coming in a year. They just started production. So we're also getting a Just Cause, like the video game. We're getting a movie based on the game coming in 2022. And it says Rico Rodriguez, a major operative of the fictional agency who arrives at Panua, a fictional dystopian island nation in maritime Southeast Asia, to overthrow dictator Pandak Baby Pune and confront former mentor Tom Sheldon. So it's just going to follow the same
premise of the games. Yeah.
Right? But very exciting to see that because I think that franchise is definitely exciting. It could be a good action movie. Let me do one more before I toss back to you. I got a Madea prequel series is in the works with Tyler Perry. What? Madea.
Thought he was done with that.
Dude, he had announced that.
I thought he was done with that.
That man has said, you know what? Hold my wig. Hold my wig. Tyler Perry is developing a drama prequel series about the early life of his iconic character Madea for Showtime. Variety has learned. Showtime has ordered multiple scripts for the projects, which is titled Mabel. Per the official description of the project, long before she was the force of nature known as Madea, she was a smart, fierce, irresistible, dangerous, crazy 20-something black woman named Mabel Simmons. When she moved to Atlanta in 1972, she set the city and the world on fire. I think that's exciting. I don't think Tyler Perry is going to be playing her, so I think that's gonna be interesting to find somebody who looks like her. But definitely cool. I'm gonna let you go because next up I got a couple trailers that dropped this week, and I want to go into them and a little bit more about those stories. But go ahead and
I might have some breakdowns too if we get into those. But anyways, okay, so this is Indiana Jones 5. Now we knew this was coming, but we finally got a casting announcement for Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who of course is in Fleabag. She's star of that show. I think she won an award for that. She's going to be co-starring with Harrison Ford for that film, so that's kind of huge. Who knows what her role would be? Maybe she takes the mantle. Who knows? But also continuing on with that film, John Williams, the iconic composer, will return, which is great. I mean, you love to hear stuff like that. Spielberg is producing, I think. I don't know who's directing it yet. I don't know. I haven't checked that out, but I'm sure they announced it already. But yeah, that was that. And that's it. But I was gonna say real quick, when it comes to going back to that Just Cause, did you have that Robert Rodriguez was directing that one? I don't know if that was the same.
Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, I think that's such a perfect comparison, or not comparison. That's a perfect connection. I was gonna say because Robert Rodriguez, I think he always just great.
Rico Rodriguez. It says here Rico Rodriguez.
Okay. Well, then I must have read that. That's the name.
That's the name of the character.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think they announced. Right. I don't think they announced who the director is. And they might have. I just didn't see it.
Okay. That's it for me.
What else? That's it for you for now. Okay. All right.
Because I know I have a lot shorter ones.
Right here we have a trailer dropped this week for Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1. The show, the DC film, the animated film, is coming June 22nd, and it's going to be a two-parter. Second part's coming in the fall, and I like to say it's a two-parter, and I think this is very smart on DC's their whole executive board. It's the Two-Face origin story, and it's in two parts, so I think that's kind of cool.
Like that. Okay.
It says it's based on the acclaimed comic series The Long Halloween, stars Jensen Ackles as Batman as he pursues a mysterious holiday-themed serial killer wreaking havoc on Gotham City's criminal underworld. Working closely with Commissioner James Gordon, Billy Berkey, and District Attorney Harvey Dent, Josh Duhamel, the investigation makes just about everyone in Gotham a subject, especially the heaviest hitters from Batman's rogues gallery. They're already saying we're going to see Joker, Solomon Grundy, Catwoman, Carmine Falcone, and, of course, Holiday's Calendar Man himself. Make an appearance.
Nice.
If you don't know anything about Calendar Man, definitely check him out. Super cool. Only strikes on holidays. Very interesting for a premise, for a villain. Next up, this actually just dropped yesterday. There's a trailer for a movie with Angelina Jolie and John Bernthal from The Walking Dead and The Punisher called Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's coming May 14th on HBO Max and theaters. This movie hadn't been previously announced, and they just kind of were like, well, it's coming to HBO. Hey, Angelina Jolie. And it's basically like they're like these firefighters who like are watching like wildlife forests, you know, like they're like make sure that
in the
there's no fire
watchtowers,
breaks out.
the fire towers or whatever.
And then suddenly there's this little kid who like she sees while she's on this tower and he's running, and she kind of goes to him and she's like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And then he's like, "There's some men after me." And they show you like this little car crash where the kid and his father were basically run off the road by these people. And right before the dad died, he gave him like a little like chip, like a little USB, and was like, "Go find someone you trust." And he basically ran while the father died. And then that's the whole premise pretty much. And it's just about these hunters kind of, you know, hunting them in the night because they come back for the kid. They're looking for him. And Angelina Jolie's pretty much just playing like a kind of
classic
like his
protector role, his
protector. Cool. Let me get through these next two. So Mainstream with Andrew Garfield and Maya Hawke comes May 7th. Mainstream is a movie about a YouTuber obsessed with fame. Now we've seen that all over the place in our own reality. YouTubers obsessed with fame. It says directed by Gia Coppola. The film satirizes, man, I cannot speak today because I'm trying to go so fast.
You're good.
Satirizes the lifestyle of online celebrities and features many scenes that ruffled feathers when it first debuted at the Venice Film Festival in 2020. So I'm sure there's people in the audience that were like, that seems like they're talking about me, which is funny. But yeah, check out that trailer if you haven't.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but I looked this up. Gia Coppola is the granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola, the iconic director. Well, I mean, I didn't put that together at first. Well, I mean, I did. I was like, wait a second, is she connected? And I saw the trailer and I thought it was a complete like, wow, what a tonal shift from, you know, the type of movies that he made. But I know, of course, they're different directors. But I just thought it was kind of funny that on YouTubers, so interesting.
Right. Yeah. Way to pick them, right?
Yeah. And then another trailer for Loki came out, and they were dealing with, I don't know if you guys seen it, but multiverse stuff. We have timeline going on, different timelines. Of course, this is Loki from 2012. And I think that this is going to connect into Doctor Strange as well, Kevin Feige said. But, of course, take that with a grain of salt because, you know, WandaVision was connected too, and there was just a little bit of that. But that was still a great trailer. Definitely recommend that one to see that one. Let's see what else I got. Okay, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, we went there. Warner Brothers. It's just, we have a lot of the same ones. That's why I'm looking, okay. Oh, that's right, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's doing a sci-fi film called The Tomorrow War. They have released it too. They released a set photo of it, and of course it's him. It's a huge cast. It kind of looks like Army of the Dead from Zack Snyder. It's like a whole tactical team of you know, military folks, and it's gonna be streaming exclusively on Amazon Prime Video. They were a deal to kind of who's gonna buy it, but now Amazon has it coming out July 2nd. It looks pretty interesting. I mean, Chris Pratt, you know, Army military role.
Absolutely. I actually have the synopsis for the film here. It says the film follows time travelers who recruit people from the present to be transported to the future to join a war against aliens. I think that's a great premise. I'm telling you, some of these movies that they're coming out with, I'm like, good. This is kind of what I wanted. Go out there, be creative. Yeah, get different. Do some crazy stuff. We have a new show coming for AMC Plus. I don't think we've ever discussed AMC Plus on this podcast, but AMC Plus, it is a streaming platform. Spy City. They have a new show, follows English spy Fieldon Scott, played by Dominic Cooper, as he is sent to Berlin on a mission in 1961 during the height of the Cold War. The Russians seemingly know vital state secrets, so he is tasked to find out the source of the information leak. It's kind of a, you know, spy thriller show. It looks really cool. It's the latest thing that's coming to AMC, because I don't think they've had anything since The Walking Dead. Coming April 15th, so that's this week. I might check that show out. I like spy thrillers. I like that show Spy. Did you ever watch that with Sacha Baron Cohen?
I haven't yet. No.
Good, bro. It's like a 6-part miniseries, but it's so good. It's one of the best, in my opinion. Sacha Baron Cohen is one of the best actors, man. That dude just dives into those roles. I got one more reveal trailer that came out this week. It was a new trailer for The Woman in the Window. The film stars Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman, Anthony Mackie's in this, Wyatt Russell's in this, and Brian Tyree Henry. It releases on Netflix on May 14th. Amy Adams plays an agoraphobic woman. Agoraphobic is a person with an extreme or irrational fear of entering open or crowded places or leaving their own home. Or of being in places from which escape is difficult. Very interesting. But she plays this woman who witnesses a murder, her neighbor's murder, after meeting her in her own home. The neighbor came, hi. Yeah. She invited her in. They talk. One day she sees outside her window. It's her neighbor. She's getting stabbed, right? So she calls the police, and the police show up with the husband, and they go, "You must be mistaken. You've never met my wife. You don't know who she is." So then the wife shows up, and it's no longer Julianne Moore. It's like this other woman, and so Amy Adams is like, "What? Like, wait a second." So, but there's like a lot of secrets there, and they're trying to manipulate her. Like the whole family gets in on it. Like, "Oh, you're crazy. You never saw her. She wasn't real." Like. So it's an interesting. Comes out May 14th on Netflix. I think that one's gonna be a very good, interesting movie there. So, but back to you, buddy.
Speaking of conspiracy thrillers, we got another Netflix film. They just grabbed this limited series, not a movie. Sorry, it's a show called The 39 Steps. It's with Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's an update of John Buchan's classic conspiracy thriller, famously adapted by Alfred Hitchcock. So that's about it. I don't know if you have a premise. I know you have that one, but. I mean, come on, conspiracy thrillers, Benedict Cumberbatch. We'll check it out and we'll see. But even that Amy Adams one sounds fun to check out.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, this week there was just so many good movies that were like trailers were dropped or movies were just announced, and it was just like, oh, cool. These actually sound exciting. They sound engaging. They sound new and interesting. They don't sound like something that's been done already, and so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I got a trailer. Oh, okay.
No. Okay. You want me to, bro, I'm going to keep going the moment you stop breathing. So you got to go. You got to jump in there.
It's a trailer. It's another trailer. So
we'll
keep sticking with this one. Jupiter's Legacy. I don't know if you saw it, but this is a film. It looks all right. Okay, so this is, for those of you that don't know, it's a Netflix series, and it's about superheroes, and it's about them blasting their way on the small screen for the first trailer for Jupiter's Legacy. The Netflix series arrives May 7th. Okay, and so the creators of it were kind of describing it, and they said it's almost going to be like an Endgame, Avengers Endgame scale, or like Justice League, where they're going to have a huge saga with this show, and they kind of want to set up a whole universe with it. And I mean, you could describe it. I already feel like you got thoughts on it, right?
I started. Here's the thing. I watched a lot of trailers yesterday, and I started the trailer for this one. And then when I heard Jupiter, whatever, I started thinking of that movie Jupiter Ascending with Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum. And then I was just like, do I want to even care to watch this trailer? And then I didn't. I didn't even. And then I found out on Twitter somebody like had a screenshot of them in their suits, and they were like, "This is a superhero show," and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
It's different.
I didn't check it out. I don't know anything about it. It just didn't pique my interest. And obviously the listeners are like, well, Luigi, you should still go check it out for us. And I get that. But at the same time, I'm not going to try to steer you towards something that isn't good. I'm only here to deliver on news and stories and films and TV shows that are actually interesting and engaging, like I was talking about. And this just didn't pique my interest. It just didn't. Yeah. So that's just me. But you know what did pique my interest? The movie Minari. If you haven't heard of this movie, Minari, it's Oscar nominated. It follows a multi-generational Korean American family setting roots down in Arkansas, the Ozarks of Arkansas, I should say, in the 1980s. Stephen Young is in it. But I wanted to point out the mom, who I thought was super cool. Her name is Yoo Young-yeon. She never dreamed of acting, she says, and now she's an Oscar nominee for Minari. Wow. And it says here, she has a great quote. She says, "Me, a 73-year-old Asian woman, could have never dreamed about being nominated for an Oscar." And she said, "Minari brought me a lot of gifts." And what was really cool is I was reading the article, and it said that she actually, at the age of 60, so 13 years ago, she started to become a lot more selective with the project she was doing. She said that when I was younger, I was just doing anything. I was jumping into any role. I was doing it all because I wanted to be in the industry. But she said that when she got older, she started realizing she wanted to have like a stronger connection to the character she was playing. She was way more selective with the roles she took and not just taking anything. And 13 years later, she happened to land on this, and the director actually was like, "No, you're the only person I thought of for it." Yeah. And now she's Oscar nominated with a beautiful performance.
Amazing.
If you haven't checked out the movie or even just seen the trailer, it's such a great, beautifully shot movie. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. But
absolutely,
that was just a little tidbit moment. I thought it was a really cute story of an actor, an older actor, kind of being nominated for something, feeling special about it. It's still cool to see.
I always have that sense that a lot of older actors have such wisdom when it comes to the industry. Like I said, for some of them, But yeah, you can continue on with some of your bigger ones because I have a lot of like light news now. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, I'm gonna hit you with a speed run.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Okay, so Into the Spider-Verse 2, we were talking a little bit about it. Christopher Daniel Barnes, who was the voice actor for the animated TV show Spider-Man: The Ultimate Series, back in the 90s. Is apparently being eyed to voice that same version of himself in the Spider-Verse 2, which is exciting because I think that that's a great choice to bring someone who was so iconic back in the day and just be like, hey, man, 20 years later, 30 years later, you're getting another chance to be your version of Spider-Man, which is really cool.
I think that could have been debunked because I actually just saw that. Like, somebody posted that. And then the next tweet was like, actually, the producer was like, "That's debunked, unfortunately."
Bro, bro, how many times are they gonna tell you stuff like that, and then it shows up in the freaking movie anyway?
Yeah, no, I know.
You know,
right? Yeah.
like nothing is debunked until I see your movie.
Yeah, no, yeah. We need evidence.
Yeah. Like I'm telling you, I'm almost there to that Spider-Man news. I'm only 4 away. I'm almost there. I promise you, it's juicy.
Oh man, okay.
Saw 10 is in development after Spiral. Spiral's coming out, I think, next month. We talked about it last week. But now they're waiting to see how that movie does to decide where they want to take their franchise. But they already announced it. They're like, we're definitely making the next one. We're making the 10th one, but we don't know where we want to take the story just yet. Is Jigsaw? Maybe? Well, Jigsaw's definitely going to be in it. It's Saw 10. But is he going to be alive, or is it going to be where we left off with the other guys kind of pulling the strings? I don't want to spoil the franchise for you, but I mean, you should check it out if you like gory.
I'm going to halt you real quick. I'm going to halt you real quick and throw you a curveball here because this is one that you're going to love, okay? Brooklyn Nine-Nine has officially begun production on the final season. That's for you.
I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that, yeah.
Get hyped.
It was exciting.
There's your Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I haven't been, less hyped. The hype never lowered for me. I've just been waiting and waiting. I love that show. And speaking of shows I love or, The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
The new episode came out. We're on episode 4 now. And I just want to point out the actor who plays Fake Cap, Wyatt Russell, who we discussed, apparently was getting death threats for playing Captain America. And I think this is so bizarre. And it just shows you how freaking messed up in the head we are as Americans. Come on, people. Stop threatening people for playing a role. He's an actor. He's just doing it because they told him to. It's not like he woke up one day and was like, I want to be fake Captain America for you.
It's not real.
Shut up. Just shut up. Like, so dumb. But flipping the script here, we have some exciting news about Falcon and Winter Soldier. The creator of John Wick actually was the person who wrote episode 3 and 4. And I think that that's so cool that they got the creator John Wick to come in and be like, hey, you want to write some episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier? And that's kind of cool. And apparently episode 5, obviously speculation because we would talk about this with WandaVision, but is reportedly going to be 61 minutes long. Kind of cool. I don't want to spoil too much about this show because we already went through our whole reaction. If you haven't seen it, check it out on our YouTube channel. I think it's just like a couple rows down. Just like click on it. It's got to be somewhere around here. I want to go into these next 3. A Peeps Candy animated movie is in the works. We saw that after Easter. They announced
Peeps.
It. Why? Why? Who was asking for this? Why are you going to waste your money? Nobody's going to watch this. It's probably going to be a children's movie. I get it, but I'm not going to watch it anyways unless it comes to streaming, but maybe even then. I just don't know anymore.
The torment of some of these films, the process of them. The cycle. It's cynical.
I feel like someone just prints out like a bunch of properties like just ran like the ones they own, and they just put them on a dart wall and they just throw things like, oh guys, and then like someone missed the dart wall completely and it landed on a peep that they had gotten from their son, and then the executive was like, guys, that's the movie, that's it, and everybody in the room was like, they all voted for it.
I know, real peep.
So dumb. But anyways, moving on from that, Justice League is reportedly getting rebooted as a multiversal team in the DCEU. That's right. They're rebooting the actual team itself. So I think it's going to include... There was a speculation that they're saying that it's going to be rebooted with Our Man, the Robert Pattinson Batman, and then they're saying Blue Beetle because I know that they had announced like a Blue Beetle. So they're saying that there's going to just be like a separate team that is also the Justice League.
On Earth 2, multiverse.
Yeah. Right. But now let me get into this Spider-Man news that I have been dying to get into.
I don't know what it is.
The start. Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi are reportedly being eyed by Sony Pictures to come back and make Spider-Man 4. And I'm just like, what? Oh my gosh. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it,
though. With Snyder Cut and the success that got, even though it's not like a recreation of a film, nowadays you can be like, yeah, it's a movie that's 20 years old, but you can, or however, not 20 years old, but you could bring it back and do it in the canon of that universe because it's like,
it's multiverse, bro. He literally just gets sent back into his universe, and then it's like, hey, I'm still here.
Spider-Man 4. Yeah.
And then all it's going to come down to is Tobey Maguire, because I feel like it's either did he enjoy the experience or was it like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, because Sam Raimi, I feel like Sam Raimi's going to be like, dude, come on, bro. Like, come on, my vision was 4 movies, Sinister Six, you know, like.
He's going to be stingy with that paycheck, though, you know. He's going to be stingy with the paycheck.
Heck yeah. But I think the fact that Sony's not ruling anything out just shows you the fact that they don't care. They're like, we'll put the money down. Yeah. They're like, we know people want to see this original
Spider-Man.
cut, you know? And it's just crazy because is it going to involve Venom and Carnage? Are they going to use those villains from the Sony properties? Or are we going to see Tom Holland swinging in there with all the other characters? Who knows? Yeah. But I just thought that was the most exciting news I had.
That's awesome.
I'll flip over to you. I got like 5 more like big stuff, and then I got a bunch of light news. I think we've gone over some of it, but I got a bunch of light news still.
All right.
And
well, recently from The Rock, he just posted Black Adam finally started production. Day 1, he posted him working out, of course, looking ripped. And the cast, you know, we already talked about the cast looking kind of huge. Some people were like, we had some comments on our TikTok. If you haven't checked out our TikTok, we do fast updates on there. So if you only have 30 seconds in the day, check out our TikTok. But some people in the comments are saying, oh, they're going to mess up Dr. Adam. Dr. Adam, what's his name? Come on.
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate, thank you. I was like thinking of Black Adam. Dr. Fate might be messed up. I don't know. It's up to you guys to think on whether or not that film will be ruined. But as for news, I think that's it for me. I think that's just about wraps it up for me.
That wraps it up for you. Okay. Then I also have some Black Adam news. I just scrolled down to it. There was 2 castings. James Kusati Moyer has been cast, and Bodhi Sabongwe has been cast as well. So those 2 people did get cast in Black Adam, which is cool. We'll see what their roles are. Nothing has been released about that. Moving on to DC fans launch Deathstroke HBO Max #campaign following the Snyder Cut release. Here's what's really cool. Joe Manganiello, who played Deathstroke, actually revealed that little scene we saw. Oh, sorry, I should say spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the Snyder Cut. I'm sorry you don't have $15 to spare. I am, because I don't like paying $15, but it is worth it. Yeah, I agree. He revealed that the Deathstroke scene at the very end of the film with Lex Luthor was actually supposed to be like a end credit scene. Like we were supposed to see that at the end of the film, at the very end, like after the credits rolled a little bit, you got this Deathstroke, Lex Luthor, and the whole reason they filmed that was because it was supposed to tease the Batman Ben Affleck movie that he was directing and writing. And apparently he says that I was doing a little research on it, that Deathstroke was going to dissect Bruce Wayne's life in this movie. He was gonna destroy his finances, destroy his friendships, destroy his family, and basically take his identity from him. And I was like when he described it, I was like, that sounds epic, you know? And now it's obviously the film got scrapped for Matt Reeves' version because he wanted to write his own version. And Ben Affleck still has this script. Who knows, man? 20 years from now,
they're still gonna do it.
They could still make it. I don't see why they wouldn't. They obviously like Ben Affleck. Like Warner Brothers does like Ben Affleck because they gave him the chance to do that. It's just that he said so many other things going on, and it's such a big movie that it's like you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to just the script is finished just because you can say it's done when it's like, well, is it really done, or are you just trying to rush it?
We could see Legion of Doom and all that.
Absolutely. So moving on, we got Naughty Dog is reportedly developing a remake of The Last of Us for PS5. This isn't movie and TV news, but I wanted to talk about this just for 15 seconds, just because of the fact that I'm like, is this going to be based on the new show? Because the show said that it was going to take some of the original stuff and then develop its own storylines. So I'm like, are you guys going to follow that show's version of The Last of Us? Because that's the only reason that makes sense to remake that game. Like, there is literally no reason for you to remake this game except for the fact that you have no other creative ideas. That's really what it's coming down to, which is sad to see. But anyways, moving on from that, Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, number 3 will release on... I know, right?
That's what it's called. Oh my God.
That's what it's called. July 23rd in theaters, guys. Hotel Transylvania. First one was absolutely banger. One of my favorite kids movies. It was so good. For some reason, the second one, they changed the animation style, and then I think they changed some of the voiceover actors.
Budget went down.
It just the quality just dipped. Like I was just like, ooh. Like the first one was fantastic. I think I owned the DVD for that. That's how good it is. Haven't even watched the second one. Third one, let's see how it looks when the trailer drops. But that just happened. It is the final chapter in the franchise, so we're not gonna get any more movies after that. Moving on to Tom Holland being cast in another movie about him being some psychological warfare type character going through things. It says here he's been cast in The Crowded Room for Apple TV Plus. He will play Billy Milligan, the first person ever acquitted of a crime because of multiple personality disorder. And it's interesting. Another cool, interesting take for Tom Holland. And moving on here, Rian Johnson and Daniel Craig are getting $100 million each to develop Knives Out. We talked about the sequels that they're getting. They're each getting $100 million. What?
Crazy.
What?
Yeah. Netflix gave them $469 million for this entire Knives Out franchise. And so they said the budget was going to be roughly $40 million so that way they can gain profit on the next two films. While $100 million is going to what, Ryan and Daniel? They're
each, so that's $200 million.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, each.
Out of that. That's crazy.
It's insane. Ridiculous.
I didn't know it was like that. Moving on to our one-off headlines, light news. The Good Fight. Kush Jumbo and Delroy Lindo returned to close out their storylines in season 5. It was previously said that the show wasn't coming back, but now with Paramount Plus, obviously the show's coming back. HBO Max orders Minx, a comedy series starring Ophelia Lovebond and Jake Johnson from Lionsgate. I think that one's cool. Not much details on that just yet. These are quick, so just know if you miss them, just go back 10 seconds. Borderlands, Edgar Ramirez to play Atlas in Lionsgate adaptation of popular video game. I believe they had already had some casting news beforehand. I think this one just came out. He's like the latest one. We had Phoebe Waller-Bridge in Indiana Jones 5, like you mentioned. This one's crazy right here. A Magic Mike competition series is in the works at HBO Max with the aim to transform a group of men into real-life Magic Mikes. And I'm just like, I'm telling you, bro, dartboard with properties. That's all it is. Yeah. Next up, I think we talked about Star Wars The Bad Batch last week about their 70-minute premiere, but now we're getting some more news telling us that there's going to be 14 episodes for sure guaranteed, with the possibility of more coming after that. We'll see. Next up, I got a Hitman TV series is coming and is in the works at Hulu. I think that's very exciting. I don't know if we've gotten something like that. We've only gotten movies with Hitman, so I'd be interested to see a little series follow him go on these different missions, taking out all these different clientele, which is very exciting. We also had the first trailer for High School Musical, the series, season 2. The series premieres on May 14th on Disney Plus, same day as The Bad Batch. Actually, no, that's 10 days after The Bad Batch. My apologies. I was watching the trailer and I noticed something. Olivia Rodrigo's character gets accepted to an acting conservatory, which makes her move away from Joshua Bassett's character, who people speculate her song Driver's License is about. So I'm curious if Disney maybe like split them because, maybe Disney cares.
About relationships? I would think it would. Yeah, I won't get into it. Whatever. It's fine.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting. I didn't realize that they were the two leads on the show, and the blonde girl, I think who she's talking about is like the love interest in the second season, who's trying to steal the guy from her, and I'm just like, this is too real. Like I'm like paralleling life, crazy. I got like 5 quick hitters right here.
I'll say the Blue Sky one. I'll say that one. That one's funny.
Bro, that one's great. Let me get in on that.
That's the one you wanted? You take it.
Yeah, out of every... Well, yeah. Blue Sky Studios is officially closed down today, guys. That was yesterday. They created 13 movies, including the Ice Age, Rio, and Robots franchises, which Disney now owns. So Disney keeps buying up all these studios, taking up their films, and you're over here just sitting there eating popcorn, watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, while their percentage on the monopoly of all the industry just keeps rising. 63%, 65%, 70%. 75%. And then eventually it's going to be 100%, and nobody's going to be able to work unless you go to Disney. And hate to break it to you, but Disney's not the good guys. Mission Impossible 7, I think you said this, has been delayed on May till May 27th. Top Gun till November 19th. I think that's it. And then I think the last thing I got here is Sony has announced their first ever theme and water park with rides based on their movies. We're getting Bad Boys, Surf's Up, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Men in Black, Ghostbusters, Hotel Transylvania, and Jumanji. All these properties coming together in Thailand, of all places, opening October 2021. So I'm sure they've already been working on this, which is weird that they just announced it. And it's going to have an Aquaverse theme.
I don't know how they said Aquaverse when Ghostbusters, Men in Black, a lot of these films.
That's what I was thinking to myself too. I'm like,
they'll make it work.
Absolutely. The only one that fits the Aquaverse theme is Surf's Up. And I guess Hotel Transylvania too, but everything else is just random. But anyways, man, that's it for me. We kind of sped run through all that at the very end because I was just trying to get it to you as quickly as possible for all our audio listeners. But it's good though. It's a lot of fast-paced, good info that you guys can dwell on and chew on. Heck yeah! If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. If you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts or whatever you're listening on, thank you so much. Please like this video. It does help us here in our channel, Strictly Casual. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Make sure to check that out. If you haven't, help us get to our goal. Check us out on TikTok.
Yeah,
check us out on all our social medias. All the links are going to be below in the description. Make sure to look for us, and share the podcast, because we're actually getting a lot more people listening to this show, which is really cool. I think you guys like the little fast-paced news updates that we're doing here. It's like 30 minutes, but we're giving you like 50 stories. Makes it more exciting and more fun. But anyways, before we leave you guys here today, let me get into our recommendations. Ryder, what do you have for us this week?
My recommendation is going to be, no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to recommend Arthur, Legend of the Sword, because if you guys have HBO Max, I recommend checking it out, because it's a twist on the tale of Excalibur and King Arthur trying to gain back the castle and the throne. And I think it's definitely a fun watch. What about you?
Absolutely. I'm actually going to be doing something completely different. I'm actually going to tell you guys, if you haven't been watching the White House press briefings with Jean Sansky, she's our press secretary. Go check those out on YouTube. They post them pretty much every day. It's good to stay up to date with the knowledge of what's going on in America, because if you're an American, you should be informed. You should stay up to date with what's going on, because they're announcing major updates to infrastructure and things that are going on in our country every day, with gun control and just all sorts of different policies with the immigration, just all sorts of stuff. Go check them out. It's on YouTube. It's free. It's 45 minutes to an hour, but it's so much information that is important. Check this out. White House press briefings. That's my recommendation for the week. And that's it. That's it for us.
Oh my God. Someone get this guy a towel. Get this guy a towel.
I was getting so hot because of the coffee I was drinking. So it was just kind of like spurring me up, because I was
speeding through it. Yeah.
Woo!
I'm drinking some cold tea, so I'm feeling great.
Awesome.
It's like a cheers off to you. But anyways.
Cheers. Yeah, seriously. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another great week here. And don't forget to secure the bag. Secure the bag, people. Get that money.
Perfect way to end it.
And
Perfect way to end it.
Make the day yours. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, everybody.